Hello and welcome to this episode on Drinking with Dave. On this episode I'm doing the Bitter and Twisted. This is from the Harveystown or Harveston brewery. It is marked as a blonde beer. It's also listed as spicy, aromatic and zesty. It is 4.2%, so right about the area that I like. Just doing the pour here. Looks pretty good. Definitely much more carbonated than the Utanos that I did. There we are. Very orangey looking beer. Yeah, held up to light. Quite yellow, other circumstances pretty orange. Just read you the bottle here. Craft brewed in Scotland. There's a lot of stuff about their mascot. Bitter and Twisted has a superb hop profile. It combines aromatic Halltower Hersbrucker, the spicy Challenger finished with a late hopping with Styrian Goldings, which give it a very distinctive citrus sharpness. And then all the stuff about, enjoy cold, all that kind of stuff. So that's the beer. Harveston or Harveystown Bitter and Twisted, a blonde. Now, it is orangey looking, looks nicely carbonated, the head is okay. Looks pretty hoppy from the head retention there, so that's good. Yeah, orangey, yellow. Let's give it a smell. Wow, that's citrusy right away. Orange peel and lemon. A little bit of that grapefruit smell. It smells quite a lot like a pale ale. It smells a lot like a pale ale, in fact. Yep, very hoppy. Fruity kind of smells. Citrusy. Smells good. Anyway, on to the taste. Wow. That is a hoppy one. That's very hoppy. Ooh. I'm not familiar with these hops, the Halltower, the Challenger, and the Styrian Goldings. I'm not particularly au fait with hop types, but that is certainly a very hoppy beer. It has the citrusy tastes at the end, much as it does with the smell. The head's fallen a little bit there. Still has that citrusy. It smells like ginger quite a lot, actually. That's a good hop profile on this. It's nice and mild in the middle. You definitely get the hops a bit, but the citrusy hops come at the end after the taste, or as aftertaste rather. Yeah, that's an intriguing one there. I mean, it is listed as a blonde, but I would much more likely call this a pale ale. It tastes much more like a pale ale than it does a blonde. Very hoppy. Has kind of earthy tastes, which is quite nice. Leans towards a bitter in that kind of piney taste. So there's a woodsy kind of appeal, I suppose. Definitely very high presence of hops in this beer. It's hoptacular, this one. Quite easy to put a head back on. Very well carbonated. As much hopping as is in the beer, the lacing does leave a little to be desired. But really that's an appearance thing and not a taste thing. It's been a while since I've done one of these. You'll forgive me for not having very good tasting notes on this. Very oily on the mouthfeel. I've explained before, you know that feeling when you eat a lot of chocolate and there's that thing in the back of your mouth. There's a lot of that going on because there's so much oil in the beer. But this is definitely one to try, I would say. It is much more like a pale than it is a blonde, so it's probably like a less fruity pale ale. Having tried the Smithwick's Pale Ale and a couple of others, those tend to be very fruity. lots of grapefruit, and the Smithwick's Pale Ale had a lot of banana and mango taste. This is kind of like that, but it does sort of lean more towards the lager, though the hops don't taste particularly lagery. It's more like a bitter at the start with a heavier kind of hop taste, and then it goes through to the middle hop taste. And the middle hop taste is quite a mild hop taste, and then it's not very in your face. And then you get this big wave of citrusy aftertaste, which must be the Goldings, the Styrian Goldings. So the Goldings hop is what the citrusy, and then the milder one is this Challenger, which is said to be spicy, but it seems to be fairly like ginger, like down on the level of spiciness. Excuse me, the Hallertau hops, Hallertau Hersbrucher, are the aromatics, so that's what that smell is. But the hops do work well together, and it gives a nice balance throughout the beer. You have an initial bitterness, and a smoother middle, which is described as spicy, but it's more like ginger than it is like paprika. You know, it's not that kind of spicy. And then you have the citrusy thing on the end. So well balanced, this beer. So would I recommend this beer? I would definitely recommend this. I mean, there's a couple of things in the back here that it's won a couple of prizes and stuff, but 4.2%, lots of hops. It's more like a pale than anything else. So if you're interested in pale ales, or a kind of a quirky pale ale, this would probably do you. Or if you just like hops, I mean, this would be the one for you if you're a hop lover. It's pretty up there without being obnoxious. Arrogant Bastard, I think, is the American thing that's got like really aggressive hops on it. It's actually an obnoxious beer. It's difficult to drink because it's so, that whole active trying to repel people with hops, you know. That's what the Arrogant Bastard is like. But this is definitely, the hops are kept at a manageable level where you wouldn't be put off drinking this beer because it's too hoppy. I mean, if you don't like hops, don't do this. This is not you. But if you like hops and you want something that's a little interesting and a little complicated, I would definitely go with this, the Harveston. It's Scottish, I don't know. So bitter and twisted from the Harveston. Definitely would suggest this one. So that's all for this episode, and I hope that you'll join me next time on Drinking with Dave.